When the world needs a hero, James Bond answers the call. Intense first-person action with high-tech weapons and state-of-the-art gadgets. Get behind the wheel of exotic supercars like the BMW Z8, the BMW 750iL, Aston Martin DB5, and more. Encounter stunning Bond girls, both helpful and deadly. Frag your friends in four-player split-screen action.
Agent Under Fire came out on the PlayStation 2 on November 13th, 2001, for the Gamecube on March 12th, 2002, and finally the Xbox on March 26th, 2002. It was developed by EA Redwood Shores and published by EA Games, and is the first James Bond game of the sixth generation of video game consoles. After Pierce Brosnan's third film, The World Is Not Enough, EA Games chose to do an original story for this generation, well, at least to begin with. So this story does not follow a film. Up until now, all of my reviews have been of Bond games based on movies, so I felt little need to talk about this story because, well, the bare bones of this story follows the movie. Sometimes the video games will deviate from the plot, but barely noticeable in a game that has no choices. Here, well, the new plot thing is the story has clones. I believe it is the first time in a Bond story, albeit movie or video game, to use them. And it works well enough, especially for the whole plot twist. You see a character die, only to have it revealed that it was a clone. Agent Nightshade, she's a CIA spy working with Bond. She dies only for it later to be revealed that she was a clone. Um, at the end of the game, the main villain's ultimate plan was to kidnap the top people of the world, the top politicians, and clone them. So it's basically Kingsman, the Secret Service, clone the top people of the world and hold the world ransom. In the end, it's pretty classic Bond stuff, and I really enjoy that because that's classic Bond stuff. So Agent Under Fire is a first-person shooter made for the sixth generation of consoles. With that in mind, this is the first Bond game on home consoles to have the two thumbsticks to move Bond. Basically, modern-day first-person shooter controls were figured out this generation. However, this was still in a day where it was not sure where control styles were to go in the future. So when the game begins, the left thumbstick is move Bond forward and backwards, and then turn left and right. The right thumbstick is look up and down and strafe left and right. So in the menu with a little tweaking, you can have the now traditional control style with the left thumbstick moving Bond in straight directions, and the right stick is look. Now for the PS2, L2 is gadget option, and L1 is use gadgets. R2 is weapon options, and R1 is use weapon. This style feels very similar to BioShock, and how you would have the gun and plasmid on each trigger and then how to select them. Very similar. And for the GameCube, it's cool too, but with fewer buttons, cycling through gadgets is Z and X together. This is control setup 4, which has only one button to cycle through either weapon or gadgets. So it can be frustrating in a mission to miss the weapon or gadget you want, now to have to go through all the others. The control setup 3 did have weapon and gadgets on the D-pad, but in the end, for either video game system, PlayStation 2 or GameCube, I did like to use weapon and gadget to be on the shoulder, like BioShock. All right, moving on to car combat. It's short and sweet. There are 2 missions that use the car. Well, 1.5. The first one, the whole one that is, you originally use the BMW Z8. It's pretty cool. You get a bunch of stuff. The half mission is with the Aston Martin DB5, and then the second half of the mission is on rails in a tank. After completing the half mission with a gold rating, you do unlock the Lotus from the movies. and that is pretty cool. Replaying with that, the Lotus is way faster and has better handling. Yeah. A few options in regards to weapons, gadgets for the car, like missiles, rockets, smoke bombs. There's a Q pulse that disables vehicles, which you have to use in the first driving segment. All said, the driving is a nice variation on shooting, but ultimately, I didn't feel the driving segments in any way were heart pounding or knuckle whitening. However, on harder difficulties, I unlocked unlimited missiles, which did bring another layer of fun to the combat missions. Just having unlimited missiles, that was definitely fun. In the end, Agent Under Fire is an original story that is setting up another game as well. That would be 2002's Nightfire, which also stars James Bond. No, I'm just kidding. It also stars Nightshade. Uh, so this game, Agent Under Fire, it was all right under operative difficulty, but throw it on Agent and Double O Agent, and the game shines with layers of fun, replayability, and lives up to the feeling like 007 with gadgets and guns in every level. I've already played 3 of the 4 games of this generation, and this was a good start to this generation. In the end, I found the game was fun. This story's all right. If you wanted to know more, Wikipedia has it broken down enough so that you wouldn't have to play the game if you wanted to know what was in it. It's nothing movie worthy. You'll see. Um, but for an original Bond story, an original story in a Bond video game, I thought it was fun. All right, I will return in Nightfire.